Hello everyone, I am Masaki Ono, a Japanese patent attorney belonging to the Trademark Division of Fukan Patent Office. Today, I'd like to present the second of mini lectures on the Japanese trademark practice. The theme is Similarity of marks. If you missed the first, distinctiveness of marks, please watch the video when you have time. Later, I will present the third, Similarity of goods services. Now let's go. In this lecture, I will simply explain 3 points about the examination of similarity of marks by the Japan Patent Office, the JPO. The first point is narrow scope of similarity. In general, the scope of similarity of marks is narrower in Japan than in other jurisdictions. I have been feeling this way for about 20 years as a practitioner, and some Japanese practitioners compare such narrow scope to an overcrowded train. In particular, it is not rare that two marks are held to be dissimilar in Japan, while they are held to be similar in other jurisdictions. The second point is much importance on sound. The JPO examines similarity of marks based on sound, appearance, and meaning, and they put much importance on sound in practice. Therefore, if two marks are identical or similar in sound, in principle, they are held to be similar. In this regard, the important point is how marks are pronounced by Japanese consumers, not by consumers in other countries or regions. Here are some examples. Each pair of marks was held to be similar due to the identity or similarity in sound. According to the JPO, these marks are pronounced by Japanese consumers as follows. Number 1, de force. Number 2, confi. And number 3, spade works and spade work. Exceptionally, two marks, identical or similar in sound, can be held to be dissimilar if they are remarkably different in appearance and meaning. Incidentally, the number of such cases is increasing. Please see these examples. Each pair of marks was held to be dissimilar due to remarkable differences in appearance and meaning, in spite of the identity in sound. These marks are pronounced by Japanese consumers as follows. Number 1, I smile. Number 2, think small. And number 3, carte. The third point is comparison of marks as a whole. In principle, the JPO compares two marks as a whole without extracting their parts when examining similarity of them. In this connection, the JPO tends to hold that a mark is an inseparable one. Here are some examples. Each pair of marks was held to be dissimilar as a whole, in spite of having the same word in common. For instance, as to number 1, the JPO held that the applied for mark is inseparable and taken as a whole dissimilar to the cited mark, although both marks contain the word bouquet. Exceptionally, the JPO compares two marks extracting their predominant parts. Please see these examples. Each pair of marks was held to be similar due to the predominant part being the same. For instance, as to number 1, the JPO held that the predominant part of the applied for mark test corporation is test, and that of the cited mark is also test, and therefore the marks are similar. I recommend taking these 3 points into account when considering trademark strategies in Japan. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Please contact me anytime if you have any questions or I can be of assistance. As I asked in the last lecture, please call me Masaaki, Nicholas, or Freddy as you like. I appreciated receiving comments and questions by some of you after the last lecture. The next lecture is about similarity of goods services. See you next time.